to just guide us through a little bit of centering. Thanks for the live stream. Okay, welcome to Friday, April 30th, 2021 communications call. We got howler monkeys in the background. We got Forrest, Mitch, Ashley, and Lauren on the call. Okay, so I invite you to, feel your feet on the ground. Maybe close your eyes. Start to tune inward. Take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth at your own pace. If it feels good to make an audible exhale, welcome that. I'd like to share today's inspirational quote of the day from Khalil Gibran. This is in his work, The Prophet. You talk when you cease to be at peace with your thoughts. You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give. Khalil Gibran. Just taking a moment to contemplate that. Maybe taking one more long, deep, slow breath. And when it feels good, you can begin to open your eyes and just notice the space that you're in. Maybe looking around, all around you, up at the ceiling, out the window, wiggling your toes and your fingers, kind of coming back into your body. And now we can meet one another back here in this virtual world. When you feel ready. Okay. All right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and do check-ins. I'm going to pause. I'm going to mute myself when I'm not talking because there's, in my space, there's some sort of construction going on. But yeah, just whatever feels most alive for you. If you want to share an update, something you want to have added to the agenda that's maybe not already there, how you're feeling in this moment, can really be anything, whatever you need to feel more present. I can get us started. I'm feeling 150% more grounded after just taking some breaths and tuning inward for a moment. So thanks for doing that with me. And yeah, I'm excited. We have a lot on the agenda today. Do our best to get through all of it, but I'm feeling like we're on a great path as this communication circle, and yeah, just excited to see what unfolds today. And I will pass it to Lauren.
Hi. I'm like so overwhelmed, like overloaded right now with just too many things. Like I'm moving and my car needs to go to the shop and I have a lot of work to do. And yeah, it's funny to look around. It's like, look around at your space. It makes me sad, guys. It's like, okay, it looks the same as normal, but like.
What changed? I'm sorry.
I mean, sorry, I'm not going to monopolize the call, but like.
Yeah.
Isn't it sad? I don't live here anymore, but like I'm here right now and I'm actually so cute. Anyway. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. I'm just like super overwhelmed with like too many things right now. But yeah. Cool. Updates. I've been trying to do the Twitter. Twitter's hard. Okay, I'll pass it to Mitch.
Yeah, Twitter looks hard. I'm glad I'm not the one trying to tackle it because I'm like Yeah, I'm a bit distracted too. I've got several people moving out of my house and moving in simultaneously, so I'm a bit distracted managing that. Other than that, updates this week, Reddit, Changemaker, Autopilot. I don't have it all figured out. I'll pass it to Ashley. Have you gone?
Nope, not yet. I'm having lots of feelings today, but I guess the most relevant ones to this call are I'm feeling a little discouraged. I feel like I've done so much outreach and like trying to get a hold of people and do stuff for the Changemaker campaign, as well as just get people to add projects. And like, it's like I send out 40 emails and it's like really not even one reply, you know, like, I don't know. I know it's just a thing and I'm learning a lot through the process and how I can better reach out, but yeah, it's a whole thing. And I'm not going to give up, but yeah, that's where I'm at.
Hmm. Lots going on in the field, it seems. Yeah, I want to thank you guys for sharing that. I think it helps to name it. For me, when I name things, they seem to like become less big and scary. And also now we can all help one another hopefully resolve some of these things. Okay. Anything else? Any other burning shares or updates or like agenda requests before we dig in?
I have I didn't look at the agenda, but I want to make sure that we talk about like whoever's going to draft the Medium post about the Changemakers campaign thing. So you get that like assigned and somebody.
Totally. Yeah, I have that on the agenda. Okay. So first, we'll go through just kind of status updates on things. We can move through this pretty quickly. And then we'll go through the different agenda requests that we had in the communications channel from the team. I think it was Lauren and Ashley. And then we'll go around through the Calling All Changemakers campaign and get kind of the latest update and assign any to-dos. So, Ashley, on the type form for the Giveth website, I haven't looked at the GitHub issue in a few days, but do you want to just kind of give us the latest and if there's anything you need from our end?
The type form itself I haven't started yet because I am getting mixed reviews from the team. So I guess this issue is kind of, I think, going to be kind of a slow process, just figuring out what the right tools that we want to use and making decisions about that. But in the issue, there is some discussion started. I want to continue the discussion. We've started trying to use that support bot and just like testing that out. So we'll see where that goes and probably act accordingly with that. So yeah, it's still ongoing, and I feel like it's moving slowly, but it's just because there's so many people need to be involved.
Yeah, and it's mostly devs.
Devs and like Willie, since Willie's the product owner, so I don't know. I want him to be involved in like some of the it's just like a decision process, you know. So it's a governance kind of thing.
Okay, cool. And then website flow stuff. So the banner, the Join Our Community makeover, like the organization of subtabs. Lauren, I'm curious if you've had any further like design conversations with Marco and like if he's has mock-ups of any of these things.
Oh, well, Marco did make some banner mock-ups. They're in the design channel. They're super cool. It looks really nice. He showed it also to us in the dev call. I can maybe find I'll find the link and then I can like share it in the chat and you can put it in the agenda or I can put it in the agenda.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but yeah, he's playing around with like different shapes. It's like looking really cool. And then like as far as the Join Our Community like revamp, I haven't gotten a chance this week to do it, honestly. It's been really hard to juggle everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still on my to-do list. I didn't forget.
Okay, cool. Awesome. And then I believe one of your agenda requests was to discuss improvements on the Create a Project flow. And there's this GitHub issue linked here in the agenda, number 814.
Yeah.
So
this is
if I
because
pull that up.
we were talking about, I mean, I don't know if we should look it together. I think Marco was like, I don't know, saying that this is like a larger issue than just like a comms issue. It's kind of like also like a dev issue. It's an everybody issue. So, I mean, we can talk about it for a minute, but basically I was just asking like how this is going to be changed, because I was going to make those how-to videos, and I'm just sort of like waiting a little bit because maybe we're going to change the way Create a Project actually looks, and then it would be silly to like do that and then we change the way, you know, like make a video and then we change it and then it's like, oh, that was no longer applicable. So,
right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you guys have any specific like ideas about any other, I don't know, any comments on that?
I'm not totally sure. Go ahead, Ashley.
I have ideas of like what we could add, but I don't know how to make the progress move faster or more in like the right direction. But I think we had talked about, even when we first launched how to create a project, we talked about maybe adding more detailed questions so that, you know, we don't get these one-line project descriptions, like just ways that we can encourage the user to add more information, more, you know, detailed questions and stuff. So I think that that would be good, and also raising the character limit. So those are my two things that I thought would be good in the project flow.
Yeah, raising the character limit is a really good idea. But Marco was like, oh, I don't think we should add questions. He like commented in the GitHub issue, I remember. He was like suggesting that we don't like make it more complicated, because we are still trying to be like, we're so user friendly and easy, that if we kind of like add too much text. But he did add, like, based on like Matt's suggestion, he did add like a "don't worry, you can edit this later" caption underneath like project description, because that was some feedback we received from Matt from Gaia Gives when he was making a project, and he's like, I didn't even know where this was going to go or if I'd ever be able to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I don't see it being like I don't think that there's a need for it to be super complicated, but even just like portioning out the different sections, you know, like what's your project about? What are you know, what's the problem that you're solving? How are you going to use the funds? What's the budget? You know, like just like maybe a few more. Maybe it's like 3 questions or 2 different sections or something. It doesn't have to be super complicated, but I'd like to find a way to encourage people to make more robust projects.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing, is like, instead of just saying, give us a description, it's like encouraging them to explain, like, how are they making an impact, or how are they, you know, for good.
Exactly.
Right? I know. I really actually, I mean, I do like that. Maybe we can convince Marco. Because I actually do really like that, because this is something I'm finding with the Changemaker campaign. I mean, at least with one project Mitch and I were just looking at, it's like, is this really for good? Like, they blasted about it, they told a story, and they gave a hashtag, but like, is this really making a difference? Or like, is this really helping people? I mean,
well, and as we go through the project verification process too, we're realizing, you know, as we're trying to go through and verify these projects, the more information we have, or, you know, just prove who you are, who you say you are, and you're not just like, donate to children, give to grift.eth, you know, or whatever it is, right? So we were finding just having more information about the project and that kind of stuff would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think it would be good to bring this up on a call that has ourselves and more people, and most importantly, Marco.
Maybe like, yeah, maybe in like governance call or something, we can ask Danny if this seems like an appropriate agenda item. But I can also just like put our ideas in that GitHub issue that there was about it, and then be like, and tag a few more people to get opinions.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we get it added to the agenda sooner rather than later, then the people who want to be involved can show up to the governance call.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, I'll ping Danny right now.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So then givebacks flow, just an update on where we're at with that. Marco, his initial like Figma markups are complete. We did a quick look at those on our last Give token call. What we've decided is we're going to send, Marco's not able to attend Willie's session, which is right after this, so please tune in. I think it's going to really help everyone to have a deeper, more thorough understanding of givebacks. But we're going to record that and send it to Marco, and then we're going to schedule a call, the Give Token team and Marco, to kind of have a hack session and look through his mock-ups and just discuss it live and make some adaptations. That feels like the most efficient way to do it. So if anyone else wants to observe or participate in that, just ping me, and when it gets scheduled, I will add you to the call. It's going to be sometime next week. Okay, sharing of site metrics. We talked about this last time. So just a few pushing this forward questions I have are, we want to share we talked about sharing these and having as a team, maybe sometimes on our comms calls, reviewing the metrics and deciding where we want to share some of these cool.
Oh, she just totally vanished so suddenly.
Man. Yeah.
So we were talking about site metrics and where we want to share these things.
Site metrics?
This was number of donations, number of donors, total value of donations.
So that's what James is working on, no?
Yeah. So Marco is was working on a design, and he pinged James, and James is this is easy to find in the database. And then so it's more how do we want to present it? And then Marco was going to do something for it. And I was also going to put some of these site metrics in our What's Happening posts. This was I don't know who suggested it. Maybe I suggested it, but we talked about it before, so I'm going to do it. And then
you could just have a couple headers of just every 2 weeks you just update it.
Exactly, yeah. So every time, and I'm by the way, this sprint we raised this much for this much funding, and we got this many new people.
Total,
whatever.
Not since the last sprint.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
that's
sorry,
better.
I was just asking to clarify.
I think probably total's better, because maybe in a sprint we only received 5 extra. We received 5.
Yeah, you're just making more work for yourself. You got
with 100 donors,
and then subtract that, and then what was the timestamp on that one? Shit.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just add these notes in here so that Forrest. So Marco working on design to present this. James can easily get the info from the database onto us.
Well, and I think maybe for the metrics things, if we decided on some milestones or goals or important, we've reached 1,000 donors, and then we've reached 5,000 donors or whatever, at those milestones, those would be a good time to share. So maybe we can set some, once we reach 5,000 donors, we make this post, or once we reach this amount of money in donations, we post about that, or once we have 500 projects, we post about that, or something like that. Maybe we can clarify some goals.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Oh, it would be also fun is a promo-y kind of thing, that it's once we raise this much money, we do a thing,
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
Sorry that I dropped for a moment. I don't know. Computer went berserk, but thanks for taking notes and keeping the conversation going.
Yeah, for sure.
So what I'm hearing is that we'll share, rather than sharing it weekly or monthly or something, it's more when there are certain milestones. So maybe we can decide what those milestones are, and then someone can kind of be tracking it weekly or bi-weekly, and when we're approaching that milestone, kind of monitoring it a bit more. And then when we have a call around that time, that's when we can share the statistics. Is that what you guys decided?
Not really. We talked about, so James can easily pull this information from the back end, and then Marco's working on a design so that it can be presented on the website, and then kind of regularly shown. And then we were talking about like when we reach certain cool milestones, this is Ashley's suggestion, then we like really talk about it. Then we like blast it on Twitter, or we could create like promos that it's like, once we raise this much money, we're going to do these fun things for you.
Okay, that's just awesome.
And yeah, and then I was also going to add it into the what's happening posts as like just like updates, and like to date we've received this many donations, just kind of as like a couple of lines near the end.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
I wonder if we could approach James and ask him to like teach us how to also pull this information so that we don't have to rely on him to always, be the one to give us the metrics.
Yeah, that's true. That would be good. I think if we have it on the website though, and it's like all the time updating, then it's kind of like we could just go at that point and like look at what it is.
Okay, so it's going to be like an automatic kind of thing.
Yeah, that's what Marco is working and James are working on. Well,
cool.
Marco's working on a design for it, and James is like, it's just easy to pull the numbers out. So once we have a way to present them.
I'll ask him anyway. I'm curious to know.
Yeah, I'm curious to know too.
I've been doing like a lot of the stuff in the database, so I think I can get my head around it.
Cool.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys. And then autopilot. I heard, Mitch, you mentioned that in your update, that's something you've been working on. Is there anything you'd like to share around autopilot?
Yeah, it's mostly working. It's just having some trouble with anonymous donations. So like, it's still not done, but we're getting there.
I'm curious with the autopilot thing. Can we try to draft our approval/rejection emails through autopilot this round for us, and maybe Mitch can assist us in how to like make a draft for those emails, so that eventually we can work towards it.
So sending out the project verification emails in this next sprint through autopilot is the request?
That's what you're saying, Ashley?
You're on mute.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, so just trying it out this round since we only have 4 projects to email, and just see how it goes, see how it works, so that in the future it's something that can be automated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem. And do you want to start that with the for acceptance emails that we just decided on? I haven't sent those out yet. Or should we do it with the next round of like invitations?
If you're up for it, let's try it this round.
Okay. Because will it show up the same for them? Since we reached out to them with the Giveth.io Gmail. Hey, Sarah, come here. There's a monkey right here. Come see him. He's really close. See him. Nice. I wonder if you guys can get in on this. He's like very close.
Hola, monito.
In the right direction? I don't know.
I don't see much.
Just kind of looks like
blurry trees.
Okay. Yeah, the light. Okay. Yes, so we can do that as long as it just looks for them like a normal email. Mm-hmm. When we send things in autopilot, what handle does it come from?
You can choose.
Oh, okay.
You can just hit like no reply at giveth.io or whatever you want.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it'd be good to like, you guys can play with the email editor and like set up your own emails and how you want them to look.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Get some experience with using it now that, it's only 4 projects. And they're projects that we know. So if it's a little clunky at first, it's fine. But it'd be better to practice now before we like really get in there with projects that we don't know.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice. So then anything else on autopilot? Mitch or Ashley?
Nope.
Nope.
We're surrounded by monkeys. Oh my god, these tiny little ones.
They're coming to get you.
Yeah.
They are. I wish I had like fruit. I know you're not supposed to do that, but that's why they come close, because everyone breaks the rules. Okay, Lauren, on the how-to videos. So I understand this is blocked by the this
At least
is
the creative
blocked by
yeah.
the creative project flow. Yeah.
Yeah, that creative project one is blocked by the potential change of what that looks like. And Marco just made me some cool like thanks for watching and like opening and exit slides. So that's really cool. So yeah, I haven't done the donation one yet, but I'm pretty equipped to do it.
Cool. I also
Okay,
saw
and
in
those could be used
there's an issue. Sorry, Forrest.
That's okay. Go ahead, Ashley.
I also saw there was an issue in the Epic that, the MVP launch campaign about creating a video about Bloom Network and Giveth partnership. Is that like something that we're still gonna work towards?
So I think Danny and Magenta already recorded it, and then their recording like didn't capture or something. And I've followed up with them a few times about re-recording it, but it hasn't happened.
Okay.
So
I was just curious.
yeah, we can follow up again. Yeah, they said when they were like, it was good, but they said like afterwards they thought there were other things that they can include. You see, there's a baby on this one's back. This one has a baby on its back.
You're so cute, Forrest.
So yeah, I will follow up again though. I know Magenta's taking care of some like self-healing kind of stuff this weekend, but maybe is Danny for sure traveling to the States again, or is she just like
No.
okay,
I
so
haven't heard
maybe
that,
she's
no.
more grounded now. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe they can do that next week. And then Lauren, you said Marco created opening and closing slides. Is that for like ones that you can use for either of those videos or for one of the specific ones?
He made it for both.
Cool. Nice. And then for how to donate, are we blocked by anything there? Are we waiting to see how the fiat, like the transact stuff, moves along?
I mean, we could, yeah, I don't know. I could just make the video with like what I have so far, and then if we get like fiat, we could be like how to donate with fiat. Like we could call this one like how to donate with crypto, and then call the next one how to donate with fiat. We could just like change it a little bit.
I love that. Focus this video on donate.
I have a quick question, and maybe you guys don't know the answer, but in Taurus, if somebody signs up and creates a project with Taurus and people donate crypto, they can then swap that crypto within Taurus, right, for fiat?
I don't know. I think you can just onboard fiat into Taurus. Like you can buy crypto with your credit card, but I don't know about like.
I don't think
I
you
don't
can
think you can
off-ramp.
pay your credit card. Yeah, I don't think you can pay your credit card with crypto from Taurus.
Okay.
You have to off-ramp it on Binance or something like that, probably.
Okay. Because as I'm doing this outreach stuff, I just want to have the answers because I know a lot of my angle is coming from, hey, you don't accept crypto donations currently, but you can if you put your project on Giveth. And so then I know they're going to ask, well, yeah, I can accept crypto, but how do I actually get cash from that, right?
That's the conundrum right now.
I know.
Okay, maybe that's a question for devs then.
I mean, you could do it. You can go on Binance and you can send it and get your local currency for it.
Yeah.
But there's no like one-click solution.
Cool. All right, thanks.
All right. Anything else on those how-to videos?
No, nothing interesting. I mean, I downloaded the software and I looked at it and I didn't have a lot of time to do it.
Yeah, no worries. Totally understand.
But the script is ready for the donation one and Danny reviewed it. And so I have the slides. So now it's just like, okay, let's like really make this happen. And I don't think it would take me that long, I hope.
Awesome. And downloaded to make
I have
videos.
time to help with communication stuff. If you have too much stuff on your plate, Lauren, or if you need something written or whatever.
Okay.
I wanted to say that because it like I can tell that you're really busy with like lots of many things.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay, cool. I'll let you know.
Just keep it in mind. Like if you need something drafted or proofread or whatever, like I'm here to help.
Thanks, Mitch.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Nice. Okay, and then the what's dappening. Seems like what's dappening is that it's just in a good flow and you're killing it.
Yeah.
Do you need any
What's
support?
that? No, that's fine. I mean, we're still mid-sprint, so like once the sprint is over, then I'll like, end of next week, I'll make the next one. So there's nothing I can do about it now.
Awesome. Okay, and then Mitch with Reddit. How's that going? Do you need support? I know last time we talked, we kind of discussed the challenges with it, and I think you talked about maybe doing more like kind of personal outreach since we were getting like kicked off of some of the channels.
Yeah. I still have been looking at stuff and trying to outreach to people. I've been like the bare minimum, at least keeping the our Giveth consistent with what we're posting on Medium and Twitter, so that at least like it kind of like mirrors that. So like including like the what's happening stuff that Lauren is putting up, that it's like referenced there. Well, we got a submission for the Changemaker on Reddit. I don't know if we should talk about that now or we'll talk about it later, but
I think we'll talk about it when we go to the Changemaker section.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid getting banned from more subreddits. So, yeah. I'm trying to think if maybe there's better avenues to spend our time trying to shill.
Yeah.
Because they don't seem to be very receptive to shilling.
Yeah, and the hard part for me is like we're not really selling any. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not, like I want to help you, and it comes off as trying to sell something. Like, well, what do you want from me, or what do you get out of it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, fair. Maybe people are like too good to be true. That's their reaction.
Right.
I'm not a bot. I'm not trying to sell you anything.
Yeah. I was telling.
Is it too good to be true?
I was saying to Lauren.
It's almost more. Go ahead. Sorry.
That Diamante Luz put up a posting on Facebook, but it was supposed to be on Twitter. For the.
Yeah,
I guess
I
that's
sent Ian a message
again.
already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they have a Twitter.
But Team just put it on his personal Facebook.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, Reddit, nothing exciting to report.
Okay, no worries. And then Lauren, I posted the link to your Twitter resource guide that you shared on Discord. Thank you for that. And I'm curious how did you have a meeting with like Magenta this week and kind of do some handoff? Has she helped you with like onboarding to Twitter?
She's been answering my questions like in DMs, but we haven't had like a meeting or anything. We talked about in the last meeting, kind of like sort of still doing things together for a little bit and like a little bit of a handoff. We didn't have a specific thing. She said to me that she's like out until Tuesday though. So she's out until Tuesday, which is great. I'm glad for her. She's doing good things for herself.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I guess like one thing I just need to talk to Magenta. Are we supposed to tweet every day? Like every day?
Griff would like for us to be active on Twitter every day. Yeah. Like having at least one post.
Okay. Well, Magenta said no more than one post. So one post every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Ideally,
Twitter takes
like
a long time.
the more projects and things that we get added over time, like it will be easier because we'll have like such a big database of things that we can tweet about. But I can understand it being more challenging initially.
I think I also just like I'm still like getting better at it. It takes me a long time to draft tweets because I'm like, oh no, too many characters. Okay, delete this one. Okay, put it here, and it just takes forever, you know. And then it's like make it appear long but be short.
And you can always do, you know, like the Twitter threads for things where you really want to include more content.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
It might not be a bad idea too to like maybe, you know, when you're feeling the Twitter motivation, like just sit down and have a hack session and create like a document for yourself where you line them up, and then each day you can just pull one post from like a source.
I thought the same thing because like otherwise it's going to be like every day I spend like 3 hours on Twitter, or else I just like spend 1 day or 2 days a week where I spend a few hours and put it all together at once.
Exactly. Yeah. And like there's tools to schedule them out too. You might be able to do it directly through Twitter, but like Hootsuite and schedule posts.
Yeah.
Another thing is like if you really do want more content in something, you could like put it in Google Docs or like some like Paint or something with like a background color and like block layers or something. You could write out something that's longer and then just make it an image that you share on Twitter also.
Oh yeah. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Forrest. Good idea.
Okay. Anything else on Twitter or like ways that we can help out?
No, I don't think so. I just need to get better at it. I just need to like, I want to also go over all of Magenta's old stuff. Like I spent a bunch of time on Twitter, and that's why I put together this document this week, because I learned a bunch of things about writing tweets and making them more effective. And then I was trying to understand like, what should I tweet about and at what time and how do you schedule things? And so like, it's just a learning curve, and I'll get better.
Becomes more natural over time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel that because we have just 20 minutes before Willie's call, we're gonna get back to these agenda requests, but I'm gonna skip ahead to the Changemakers campaign since that's live. So let's talk about all the submissions that we have and then our plan for promoting those rolling project submissions to make sure that we're following up on what we said we would deliver. So sounds like we received one on Reddit. And what was that project?
So I just linked the project outreach folder for our Changemaker submissions. So they should all be there unless there's any that are missing. So I got a message on Reddit today. There's a guy in Kenya, and he's making a token, and people can fund the token, and then it gets airdropped to people, and then the people have to learn how to use crypto to like turn that into real value or like exchange it into like money. So it's not a great idea, but he was very responsive on Reddit when I asked him for more information, and I can throw that in here as well.
I'm just seeing now he also like added tweets to his original just generic tweets with more information.
I mean, he reached out on Reddit, so I mean that's like he's met the conditions, and he used the hashtag on Reddit.
He did both.
He did both. But so like the Twitter submission is very half-assed, but he checked all the boxes on his Reddit submission. So
no, I'm saying I like when I sent you them earlier, like in the last hour, he added tweets to his original tweet. And so now he also qualifies sort of based on Twitter. It says, "You have full control over the buy order. You move it as you please. The tokens you buy are yours. Your gesture will be highly appreciated."
Anyway, it looks legit. Like I'll say legit as in like he's like a real human with a real project. And it looks like the at least the outward intention is to do good, you know. And so I mean, you know, let's throw it in there.
I mean, I don't understand. Sorry, this project is. How is this making the world better?
So he is basically asking people to make donations that he can fund this token that he's created that will get airdropped continuously to low-income families. And then these low-income families or individuals then have tokens that they have to learn how to use.
Oh, okay.
So I see it, I get it. And the thing is, like, he needs the money because otherwise the token that he's airdropping doesn't have any value.
Okay. It
makes sense. I'm not saying it's like, you know, gonna change the world or it's like, anyway.
But his heart's in the right place.
It's a legit idea,
Yeah.
you know, and it like, you know, it's there. And it's based out of Kenya, it looks like.
And he added his project to Giveth.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So we've gotten one on Reddit, and then how many have we received on Twitter?
He also submitted that on Twitter. And then there was one from Anne Connolly, because I DM'd her asking her if she would do it, and she was like, yeah, and then she did. So we've got Trust Graphic Novel. Her project was already on there. And then the 3 we tweeted about previously, Bloom Network, and the 2 from Joni Madere.
Joni what?
Madere?
Okay.
Madre? No.
And what's the name of the person for Reddit? Mitch?
Demand consistent 2775.
Oh no, must have crypto token.
Yeah, but that's his Reddit handle.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but anyway, it's
well,
all
his Twitter
in.
handle is must have crypto @musthavecrypto.
Oh, his Twitter handle. Okay, yeah. Anyway, it's in the spreadsheet here.
Cool. Yeah, I wasn't able to pull that up. The computer was like, you can't have video and agenda and a spreadsheet at the same time.
Oh man.
So I was just trusting.
Okay.
Okay, so the only platforms that we've received them on are Reddit and Twitter, which obviously makes sense, but just want to confirm. So we've got 4 submissions.
Yeah. Well, then there's the one that Tian did on
5.
Facebook.
And 6, yeah.
But he needs to put that on Twitter or Reddit because those are the rules, and Tian doesn't get a free pass.
I
messaged him, but it's actually 5 and 6 with Tian project.
5. I've got. Are you counting the one that's on Twitter and Reddit as 2, or
no?
am I missing one?
We got 2 different projects that Joni added, but they're 2 unique projects.
And then
we've
Anne
got
Connolly.
the Bloom Network and Anne Connolly.
So what are Joni's
one.
2 different projects called?
Sage to Saddle Conscious Medicine Collective.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all on the sheet.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Wait, did you put that in the chat? Yeah. No.
Okay.
You just have to go to the right sheet on the bottom there, maybe. It doesn't link to it directly.
2, 3.
Changemaker submissions.
Nice. Bloom Network. Put that in there.
Yeah.
I can share this.
Yeah, if you can show me the post, I can punch it in. I guess I must have missed it.
Okay. And have we promoted any of these projects yet? It sounds like we've done like tweets about them, but we haven't yet put anything into like our roundup post for Medium.
No, we haven't made a roundup post yet.
Right. So I was kind of waiting a little bit until we saw a bit more action. And I feel like with 6 submissions, it would be worth our time to write a Medium post now.
Yeah, agreed.
So I would be willing to take that on and write the Medium post, and then we can publish it. And that's like more or less bi-weekly, you know, we're like ballpark, so that's okay.
Cool.
Okay, and then curious, have we like featured all of these projects? Like, have we tweeted or Reddited about all of these 6 projects thus far
No.
in advance of the Medium Roundup, or are there some that we have and some that we haven't?
Well, like we've just received these today, so I don't think we've tweeted about them yet.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Bloom Network and the 2 projects by Joni, I already tweeted about them, but the new submissions, like the Reddit post, Must Have Crypto, and Anne Connolly, I haven't tweeted about.
Okay. Cool. I just want to make sure I'm tracking. Okay, and perfect. Sounds good. And Mitch, when do you feel is like, based on your bandwidth and also just kind of strategically, when would you like to have that draft ready for review, and when ideally would you like to publish it on Medium?
I'll start working on the draft Sunday, and then ideally Tuesday at the latest to publish it, so that we're kind of hitting that mid-mark in the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Perfect.
So maybe I'll make a tweet about these new submissions and like share it on tomorrow. Like I'll share it on Saturday in the morning. And yeah, because then that'll be perfect. So then it's like we tweeted the first 6 before the post, and then we can like retweet about them in the Medium post. I can share your Medium post and be like, check out our first roundup. Keep going. Yay, changemakers.
Yeah, perfect. And even, you know, like if you want, you could even do like one Saturday, one Sunday, one Monday, and then Tuesday we like publish the roundup.
Yeah, I think I'll do them all together because I did the last ones all together in a tweet thread, and then it's yeah,
cool.
Then it's consistent.
Cool. Sounds good. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so I feel complete with the Changemakers campaign at the moment. Anyone else have any comments or questions before we jump over back up to the other points on the agenda? Okay. So let me just review these 3 points because we're probably only going to get to 1, so we can kind of choose like what feels most important. So 1 is around Giveth Trace. The milestones now have 4 categories: milestones, bounties, expenses, and payments. And we're considering changing the name milestone to something else like projects to make it consistent with Giveth.io. Well, that seems like a quick thing to talk about. So yeah, how do you guys feel about that? I agree. Milestones are interesting, and it also feels like something that you've got to like continually create like a new, once you achieve a milestone, then you'd want to like create another one, but it could be for the same project. So if milestone is mostly referring to a project, it seems like it makes more sense to keep it consistent across both platforms.
Right. I guess the thing is that now there's just like there's still milestones. There's just 4 different kinds of milestones, and one of them is named milestone. So it's hard to call them all milestones when there's only one of them is actually like called milestone, right? So like how do we rename that and have it still be kind of the same as Giveth? But the thing is like our projects on Giveth.io are more like campaigns on the original platform than they are like milestones. So like to try to find a term that either can transfer easily, or you know, even just a unique term, even if it doesn't transfer, right?
I'm not using Giveth Trace so much, so I might not be as familiar with these terms. Are there campaigns on Giveth Trace also?
Yeah, so there's campaigns, and that's probably more aligned with what you would consider a project. So to
Okay.
call the milestones projects also isn't quite the right term either.
Why do we have them? Why is it different? Like, is it really referring to something different, or should we just like kind of scrap it and actually make all the nomenclature the same across both platforms?
Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, it's different just because they wanted to do it simple, and so they just had one thing rather than having communities, campaigns, milestones. There's like just one thing. You know, it's more of like easier access, more fluent for the user, and maybe eventually in the future they will add milestones to projects. It just kind of depends on the feedback that we get and if that's something that people want.
Yeah. I feel like for me to have real input on this, I should probably dig around the Giveth Trace, like the latest on the Giveth Trace platform, to be able to give like more of an opinion. But I can do that and then write my comments on this GitHub issue. Ashley and Lauren and Mitch, do you guys have any feedback on this?
I do not. I have not been very active in that discussion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The reason I brought it up as an agenda topic is because I was like, I don't know what to do about this, so we keep talking about it. But yeah, I mean, kind of everything that Ashley said is just, yeah, it's just spot on accurate. Like, maybe it would be good if we had a unique term that encompassed like the other 4 terms. Like, milestones are like when a project achieves a thing. Then you've also got like payment, so it's like being paid for your job, and then like expenses, and then like bounties. So it's like what encompasses those 4 different things as like a separate category. Yeah.
I like the word landmarks, but I don't know exactly how that feels for everybody else or the team or whatever. And I've tried, like I've gone through thesaurus.com and been like, milestone, landmark, you know, like what are some similar terms or words that we can use? And so far that's the one that's been like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if I like landmark, because like landmark isn't really a good heading for expense.
Right.
Like landmark is very similar to milestone.
Category? Could it be like milestone is still the overhead, but then instead of the subcategory being milestones, it's landmarks?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was thinking too. Like maybe we still call all 4 milestones, but we just change the name of like the subcategory milestone rather than changing the name of milestone.
Guys, that's out of the box thinking right there. That's so good. I like that a lot. I think that's really good. Maybe we should propose that to them. And then landmarks is maybe nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the argument that Griff had about that is that like an expense isn't necessarily a milestone. So to call it a milestone is kind of weird, right? So it kind of comes back to the same thing, that it's not really a landmark, you know?
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Totally. So awkward. I don't know. Can we just call them categories? Or no? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, when you said campaigns, like a part of a campaign does have milestones, expenses, payments, so like that makes sense to me. Also, same for a project. Like those are subcategories you would find within a campaign or a landmark. I mean, or a
we just have to find the right word that they all can fit under.
Mm-hmm. What's a bounty?
I think it's like when they're like, it's like this task is available. There's this much money available for you completing this task. Complete this task and you get the money. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a donor being like, I want to see you do this, and I'll put the money up for it. And once you complete that task, you get the money.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I would just say, yeah, just noticing we have 2 minutes left. So I'm going to take it as a to-do to familiarize myself with like the more recent version of Giveth Trace and kind of dig into this, and then I'll put my comments in the GitHub issue. We've talked about it, so we all understand like what the issue is, and if anyone has any ideas or brainstorms that come to them, please put it in here. And when I make my comment, I'll also copy in this these notes from our notes here. And I'm going to make this orange because we didn't get to it today, and we can continue the discussion in the Discord channel, and or we can have a hack on these things like the planning repo and going into the planning campaign on our time that we have like as a placeholder, I think on Monday or Tuesday. Does anyone have any closing thoughts or questions before we pop over to Willie's give back session?
What channel is that in?
Where
The
did
Give
he
Token
schedule it?
Economy?
Probably, right?
I think probably so, but I need to check the calendar
Okay,
because
I can check
Willie
too.
sent that one out. I think like when he sent out the in the Discord channel, there was like a link.
Okay.
Let's see.
Hey, Forrest, I put it in the chat and in the notes. Develop.giveth.io is kind of like staging. It's like you can test on there and like you can make a mess. If you wanted to
Cool.
familiar yourself, if you're more with Giveth Trace.